Chapter 5,
今天我们要
1 through 15.
今天我们要看的经文是约翰福音5章1到15节。
From verse 1. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews.
这是以后到了犹太人的一个节期，耶稣就上耶路撒冷去。
Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep-gated pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades.
在耶路撒冷靠近阳门有一个池子，希伯来话叫毕士大，旁边有5个廊子。
Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, and the paralyzed.
里面躺着瞎眼的、瘸腿的、血气枯干的许多病人。
One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years.
在那里有一个人病了38年。
When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?"
耶稣看见他躺着，知道他病了许久，就问他说：“你要痊愈吗？”
Sir, the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me."
病人回答说：“先生，水动的时候没有人把我放在池子里，我正去的时候就有别人比我先下去。”
Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk."
耶稣对他说：“起来，拿你的褥子走吧。”
At once the man was cured, and he picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath.
那人立刻痊愈，就拿起褥子来走了。那天是安息日。
And so the Jews said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath, the law forbids you to carry your mat."
所以犹太人对那医好的人说：“今天是安息日，你拿褥子是不可的。”
But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'"
他却回答说：“使我痊愈的对我说，拿你的褥子走吧。”
So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?"
他们问他说：“对你说拿褥子走的是什么人？”
The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there.
那医好的人不知道是谁，因为那里的人多，耶稣已经躲开了。
Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you."
后来耶稣在店里遇见他，对他说：“你已经痊愈了，不要再犯罪，恐怕你遭遇的更加厉害。”
The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well.
那人就去告诉犹太人，使他痊愈的是耶稣。
And the title of today's message in verse 8, it says, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk."
今天讲到的主题就在第8节，耶稣对他说：“起来，拿你的褥子走吧。”
So in today's message and today's passage, we see sick people at the pools of Bethesda underneath these 5 covered colonnades.
那今天我们的讲道里边，我们看到这段经文讲，在毕士大的5个廊子下面有很多病人。
So, they actually believed that an angel of the Lord would stir these pools of Bethesda, and these pools had healing powers behind them, that it could heal the sick.
他们相信天使后来下来的搅动这个水，然后这个水被搅动的水可以治愈人。
So among the people that was there that wanted to be healed was an invalid, a person who had been an invalid for 38 years.
所以在这些病人当中，有一个病人他已经病了38年了。
Numbers in the Bible are very important.
这个圣经里的这个数字都是很重要的。
We see the number 5, the 5 covered colonnades, and we see also the number 38 as well.
在这里讲有5个廊子，还有这个病人病了38年。
Theologians, scholars, when they study these numbers and they look at this passage, some say the 5 covered colonnades represents the 5 books of Moses.
神学者有的解释说，这5个廊子就代表摩西的五本经，摩西5经。
The 38 represents about the same amount of time that the Israelites spent wandering in the desert, in the wilderness.
38代表以色列人在旷野里面的38年。
So, these sick people essentially took rest in these 5 covered colonnades, similar to how the Israelites also relied on the law. They took rest in the law.
这些病人他们在5个廊子下面休息，也像以色列人一样。以色列人他们 他们用这个摩西五经来指导他们。
They relied on the law so much, some were experts, but ultimately, when you look at the law, the Israelite law, it was ultimately unfulfilling.
我们知道这些以色列人非常注重遵守他们的摩西五经，但是最终我们看到这些摩西五经的律法是不能满足他们的。
There's something representative here. When you look, there's something like this in the world too, the 5 covered colonnades of the world.
我们看今天的世界，我们也能看到类似于这5个廊子的地方。
What I mean is that there are things inside of the world that people take rest in, that they are comfortable in, but like the law, they are ultimately unfulfilling.
我的意思就是说，我们会看到有些东西，有些地方人会在那里安息，会在那里寻求安慰，但是就像犹太人的律法一样，最后不能满足我们。
This is because many things in the world, they lack true meaning or true purpose behind it. They lack something deeper behind it.
这是因为这些世上的东西、属世的东西，它们缺少意义、缺少目的、缺少真正的深层的能够满足我们的东西。
And because of that, there's so much sickness in the world as well too. The blind, the lame, and the mute. Similar to the scene that we see here, the blind, the lame, and the mute.
所以今天的世界也有很多疾病在里面，有瞎眼的，有瘸腿的，也有聋哑的。
What I'm talking about here is spiritual sickness.
我今天想来讲的是我们属灵上的疾病。
Blind, being unable to truly see.
我们瞎眼，我们不能真正的看到。
Lame, walking in life, but actually lifeless.
像瘸腿的，我们在走，但是我们没有生机，没有生气。
Mute, unable to speak truly what's in the heart, and being frustrated with that as well.
哑，我们不能真正说出事实，我们感到非常的有挫折感。
Still, other people are like this invalid, people who can't actually move under their own power.
还有很多人像这个病人一样，他们不能凭自己的力量来走路。
As we look at today's miracle, we should ask ourselves, are we like this invalid?
当我们今天看这个耶稣的神迹的时候，我们要问一下自己，我们是不是像这个病人一样？
What I mean is that we can't just view the Bible as just recorded history, but we also must look at the Bible as living history.
我的意思是我们不能只把这本圣经当作是一个历史书来看，我们这个圣经也是给我们现在生活的指导。
The Bible is certainly a book that relates to my life today.
圣经是跟我的生命息息相关的。
Now, yes, the Bible is a book of recorded history. These events really did happen.
当然圣经是历史，这些记载的事情确实发生过。
Jesus really did heal the blind people. He really did distribute the 5 bread and 2 fish to feed the 5,000.
耶稣确实治好了瞎眼的，他确实用5饼2鱼喂饱了5000人。
And he did heal the invalid in today's passage.
他确实治好了今天这篇圣经里面讲的病人。
But as we look at today's miracle, we should look at this miracle for me today. And more importantly, how does it affect me?
但是我们今天看这个圣经神迹的时候，我们要看它是怎么样来影响我们的。
When I was first studying the Bible, I think that's what struck me most about the Word of God.
当我刚开始学习圣经的时候，这一段对我的触动最大。
How piercing it was to the soul, how closely it related to my life.
它真正刺穿了我的灵魂，并且让我能够联系到我现在的生活。
Now, how am I like this invalid? Am I unable to move on my own power like this invalid?
我和这个病人到底有多相似呢？我是不是和这个病人一样，也不能用自己的力量来行走？
What I mean is that even though I may not be physically like the invalid, like I'm not physically unable to move on my own power, am I still like the invalid, trapped under these 5 covered colonnades?
虽然我不像这个病人一样，虽然我可以走，但是我是不是也被囚禁，被 囚禁在这个5个这个廊子下面不能动呢？
Is there something where I'm trapped like this invalid for 38 years inside of the comfort of the 5 covered colonnades?
我有没有像被这个病人一样，在38年里边就安心的待在这个廊子下面？
But it's inside of this meaningless boredom and addiction of the world.
在38年里边有没有失去了生活的意义，感到很无聊，并且被这个世界深深的吸引？
Is there something like the 5 covered colonnades in the world that affects me in that way?
我在想有没有在这个世界里有没有像这5个廊子一样的东西让我来影响我的生活？
You know, we're here in Las Vegas. I used to come here a lot to Lake Tahoe and Las Vegas. Actually, my parents took me here for vacation a lot when I was young.
当我还小的时候，我爸爸妈妈经常带我到拉斯维加斯或者到那个Lake Tahoe 来度假。
As a little kid, going inside the casinos, what I, remember most is, the people pulling down slot machines.
我小的时候，我印象比较深，印象很深的就是在那些坐在老虎机前面那些拉杆子那些。
So they put in the money and then pull it down, right?
他们把钱投到那个机器里面，然后就把那个杆子拉一下。
And then as a kid, you would see sort of the blank expressions on their face as they put in the money and pull it down.
我那时候小的时候，我的印象就是那些人面无表情。
And they do this for really hours and hours on end.
他们在坐在那里可以几个小时。
I think maybe that's why, as an adult, I don't go to those casinos. They don't hold much interest for me.
也许就是因为那时候的原因，现在我没有兴趣去这种赌场。
It's the same sort of blank expression sometimes I see on my kids when they're playing video games too.
有时候我看我的孩子玩电子游戏的时候，他们也是面无表情。
They're just pushing the controller, just staring at the TV for a long time.
他们只是玩他们那个控制器，然后盯着那个电视。
My parents would probably tell you that it's probably the same with me as well when it comes to sports. I'm a big sports fan.
我爸爸妈妈可能也会告诉你们，我看体育节目的时候也差不多。
If it's a baseball, a football, or an NBA game on right now, I'm definitely there watching it. I'm just there staring at the sports for hours and hours.
我很爱看体育节目，不管是棒球、橄榄球还是篮球，我都看很长时间。
And what I want to say is that there really are so many worldly pleasures and comforts out there that can consume our lives.
我真正想说的是，在这个世界确实有很多快乐的给你感官享受的东西，可以让你花很多时间来看这个东西。
So I really want us to reflect today. Is there anything like that for me?
我想让大家来回想一下，来考虑一下，有没有这种东西对你有这种影响？
Is there something that's consuming me that is a part of this meaningless boredom and really an addiction of this world?
我在想，对这个世界上到底有没有东西让我对这个没有意义、非常无聊的世界这么的迷恋？
Am I trapped in that? Am I trapped in the 5 covered colonnades? Have I been trapped there for 38 years like this invalid man?
我有没有陷在这些陷阱里边，就像陷在那个5个廊子下面，在那待了38年。
If so, then I am just like this invalid man here today.
如果有的话，我就像这个经文里面讲的病人是一样。
And if so, how can I receive healing just like this invalid man did in today's passage?
如果我也像病人一样，那我怎么样得到治愈呢？
The good news is that Jesus is coming to us today, just like he did to this invalid man.
好消息是耶稣今天会到我们这边来，就像耶稣去治愈那个病人一样。
Let's go back to verse 6.
我们看一下第6节，约翰5章第6节。
When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?"
耶稣看见他躺着，知道他病了许久，就问他说：“你要痊愈吗？”
Jesus is coming to us today and asking us, "Do you want to get well?"
耶稣今天就会到我们这里来，然后问我们：你想痊愈吗？
That's really the first step, isn't it? Do you want to get well?
这是第一步，就是说你是不是想被治愈？
It's like that, really. I'm used to the comforts of the 5 covered colonnades. I'm used to the comforts of my life well.
就像这个经里面说的一样，我在这个廊子下面待得挺舒服的，我觉得我现在挺好的。
So the question that Jesus is asking him is, if I heal you, you will be expected to walk. You will be expected to be active. You'll be expected to contribute. Are you ready for that change?
耶稣对这个病人说的意思就是说，我治愈你的话，我希望你会走，能活动，并且有贡献。你做好准备了吗？
So are you ready for that? Are you ready for that change in your life? Do you really want it?
你们做好准备了吗？你想让你的生命被改变？
You know, when you think about that, that's really an important question, right? Wanting it, really wanting it.
你仔细考虑的话，这个问题问的是你有没有想，你想不想被治愈？
You know, there's these psychiatrists, Dr. Manurth and Meyer. They wrote a book called Happiness is a Choice.
有两位心理学家，Manurth 和梅尔这两个心理学家，心理医生，他们写了一本书叫《幸福是一个选择》。
And in the book, they talk about how patients, they often, when they come to psychiatrists, they use the words "I can't."
这两个医生写这本书啊，其中记载很多病人到他们那里去看心理疾病的时候，他们最常用的一个词是“我不能，不能做”。
And you know, psychiatrists looking at that, they tell them that really "I can't" is just a lame excuse.
这两位心理医生就告诉他们病人，我不能。你说我不能的时候，其实是一个很弱的一个很牵强的一个借口。
So they say to the patients, instead of using the word "can't," use the word "won't."
所以他就告诉他们这个两位医生就告诉他们的病人说，你不要用我不能这个词，你要用我不想，用我不想来代替我不能。
And so you know, when they do that, they start changing around their phrasing of things.
所以当这个病人用这个我不能的时候，他们说的话就会有变化。
I just won't get along with my wife.
比如说他们会说，我不想和我的妻子好好的相处。
I won't stop drinking.
他们就会说我不想戒酒。
I won't stop getting angry.
我不想停止发怒。
I won't stop sinning and I won't forgive.
他们会说我不想停止犯罪，我不想原谅别人。
And when they change their can'ts to won'ts, they start avoiding the truth and facing reality.
当这些病人说把我不能换成了我不想的时候，他们就会停止来，他们就会不再避免他们这个事实，而会来面对这个事实。
And it's the same thing with coming and being healed to the Lord, by the Lord.
来到主面前被治愈，也是类似的。
You know, so often, you know, we say we can't get out of what we're doing in the world. It's too comfortable. Like we're like that invalid who is stuck in the 5 covered colonnades, unable to move out.
常常是当我们说我们不能脱离我们现在的状态的时候，我们就像那个病人一样，那个病人在廊子下面待了很多年，也不能出去。
But it's not that we can't get out, but what's really happening is that we won't get out of what we're doing inside of this world.
其实真正在发生的事情，并不是我们不能，而是我们不想来改变。
We won't get out of what we're doing in this world, and we won't go to Jesus.
我们不想离开我们现在的状态，我们不想去找耶稣。
And that's the first step, isn't it? We need the determination to really want it, to really be God's people, the determination to really serve God.
所以我们第一步就是我们必须要想去离开现在的状态，我们必须要想去到主那里来为主工作。
Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13.
腓立比书4章13节。
It says, I can do all this through him who gives me strength.
腓立比书4章13节说：“我靠着那加给我力量的，凡事都能做。”
You know, the first step in any miracle is to really want it.
所以说，任何的神迹的第一步都是你必须要想要它。
Jesus is coming to us today and asking us, do you want to be healed?
耶稣今天到我们中间，会问我们：你想被治愈吗？
I hope your answer is yes, and I hope that you want to be healed.
我希望你的回答是，并你确实想被治愈。
Let's go back to the passage again, John chapter 5.
我们回到这个约翰5章，我们来
And let's continue on. Let's look at verse 7.
我们看第7节，看发生了什么事。
Sir, the invalid replied, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. When I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me.
第7节，病人回答说：“先生，水动的时候，没有人把我放在池子里。
So,
我正去的时候，就有别人比我先下去。”
So there was actually this local belief that when the water was stirred by the angel, first person that was able to get to the water, then it had healing powers for that first person.
所以当时的这些人相信的是，那个水被搅动的时候，被天使搅动的时候，第一个下去的人会被治愈。
And so that's why he's complaining here, the invalid. He says, when I want to go in, first of all, no one helps me go in, and second of all, someone else goes in ahead of me. That's what he's saying here.
所以这些病人的抱怨就是说，没有人帮着我下去，并且那个水一动的时候，别人先下去了，所以没人帮我去。
Right, think about it. He's an invalid, right? So he needs someone's help to actually get to the pool.
所以想一想，他确实他是个病人，所以他需要帮助来到这个水里。
So that's why when you look at this passage, he's really blaming the figurative other people for getting in before him, or no one else helping him to get in.
所以我们来想一想，就这个病人，他在埋怨别人比他先进去，或者是没有别人来帮助他。
Really, when it comes right down to it, it's so easy to blame other people for our problems.
所以，当我们仔细考虑的时候，是不是有时候很容易把我们的问题说成是别人的问题，是别人的错误。
Other people are getting in before me. Other people aren't helping me.
别人比我先进去到水池里，别人没有帮助我。
We so easily blame other people and don't take responsibility for our own problems.
我们常常容易来埋怨别人，而不自己为自己的问题来负责。
It's like that even in the Bible. Adam, he said to God, that woman you gave me persuaded me to eat from the tree.
就像圣经里面记载的，亚当对神说：“那个你给我那个女人，她让我吃了树上的果子。”
Now Pilate, he said he was forced to crucify Jesus, and he tried to wash his hands of that, and he said he was innocent of it.
比拉多说他是被迫的，来钉死耶稣，并且他还洗了手，说这个罪与我无关。
People do the same thing today. They blame others and don't take personal responsibility.
很多人今天也这样，他们埋怨别人，自己不承担责任。
I'd work harder, but no one appreciates my effort.
他们会说，我的工作很努力，但是没有人来称赞我。
I do better in my job, but my boss, he just doesn't like me.
他们会说，其实我工作做得很好，只是我老板不喜欢我。
Now, so many people make excuses, but so few people actually take responsibility for their actions.
太多的人找借口，太少的人为自己的行为负责。
Romans chapter 14 in verse 12.
罗马书14章12节。
So then each of us will give an account of ourselves to God.
罗马书14章12节，这样看来，我们个人必要将自己的事在上帝面前说明。
Really, that's how it's like in the end. We all face the judgment of God. It's not about other people and what they did or didn't do for me, but I myself, I have to face God in the end.
像这个经文里讲的，最后我们见到上帝的时候，我们要自己说我们自己做了什么，而不是说别人做了什么。
And that's why whether we have this excuse or that excuse, it doesn't matter, but we need to take responsibility for our own lives.
所以到最后，我们的借口都是没有任何意义的。我们最后要为自己的生命负责。
Now, this is true no matter what circumstances we come from. We should take responsibility.
不管我们从什么样的背景过来，我们自己都要为自己的行为和生命负责。
Bob Russell is a former minister in Southeast Christian Church in Louisville, Kentucky. He tells a little bit about his father.
Bob Russell 是在肯塔基州一个教会的牧师，他讲他父亲的故事。
His father, he was the 17th of 18 children in his family.
这个牧师的爸爸呢是 家里面18个孩子里面排行第17的一个孩子。
His mother died when he was only 4, and his father had a drinking problem.
他的爸爸就这个牧师的爸爸很早就死，妈妈很早就死了，然后他父亲是一个酒鬼。
He lived juggling around his sister's houses throughout his childhood, and you can think someone with that kind of background probably could have a lot of problems, in their lives.
这个小男孩怎么样长大？就是在他的姐姐们的家里边住，不停的在姐姐家里边住，然后去长大。他可能，我们想他这个孩子可能会有很多问题。
But despite the circumstance, he grew up to be one of the most gentle, faithful, generous, compassionate people, and he never blamed his environment.
尽管在这种恶劣的环境中长大，但是这个小男孩长大了，成为一个非常谦卑、非常温和、非常有信心、非常大方的一个人。他从来没有埋怨他的环境。
Ultimately, he and I'm sure all of you also know a person who has risen out of their past like that.
我想这个故事，并且我相信大家都会有身边都会有这样的人，他们尽管他们很恶劣的环境，他们都会有自己的成长。
My own father sitting here today, he tells the story all the time.
我的爸爸今天坐在这儿，他常常跟我讲他自己的故事。
He grew up in an era in Taiwan. It was they had just come over, and the whole country was really poor at the time.
我爸爸长大的时候在台湾，经济情况非常非常差。
And he also grew up in a very poor family.
他的家庭也非常的贫穷。
And so he was in 6th grade, and it's cold in the winter time.
他6年级的时候，在冬天很冷。
So you got to get to school, but he doesn't have a jacket to go to school, and he's freezing.
我爸跟我讲说，他那个时候冬天没有厚的衣服，没有。
So his classmates, they had to get together with a little bit of money from each person, and they actually bought him a jacket. This is kind of how he grew up.
所以他的很多同学就每个人出了一点钱，然后帮他买了一个棉衣。
But he rose out of that, worked hard, made it to a good college, immigrated here to the U.S.
所以我的爸爸在那种恶劣的环境中，非常努力的学习和工作，去了一个好的大学，然后移民来到美国。
He met my mother, who also has her own story, and because of that, that's why I'm here today.
然后我爸爸碰到了我的妈妈，我妈妈也有很多自己的故事，因为他们两个，我今天才能站到这里。
Really, what I want to say is that the easiest thing to do is blame other people for our problems.
我想说的是，其实我们很容易，也很埋怨别人是一个很简单的事情。
Because of this situation in my life or that situation, I'm stuck here today in the 5 covered colonnades for 38 years.
我们可以说，因为这个事情、这个原因、那个原因，所以今天我在这个廊子下面，38年动不了。
Heredity and environment, they do play a part in influencing us, but we can rise above our past if we want to.
我们的遗传、我们的环境确实会影响我们的生活，但是我们可以超越那些障碍。
Some of the world's most successful people had terrible pasts, and some of the most privileged people wound up being complete failures in their life.
这个世界上有很多背景很困难的人，他们做了很伟大的事情，也有很多背景很好的人，他们最终一事无成。
So, like this invalid, do we really have something inside of ourselves, like this invalid man who's been stuck here for 38 years, blaming other people?
在我们自己当中，有没有像这个38年的这个病人一样，有没有来埋怨别人？
If so, then let's look at this miracle that Jesus performed today.
如果有的话，让我们来看，今天我们来看一下这个耶稣行的这个神迹。
Actually, if you look at today's miracle, there's something interesting about how he was healed.
如果今天我们看这个神迹的话，我们会看到很有趣的事情，就是关于这个人是怎么样被治愈的。
Let's go back to the main passage in verse 8, John
我们
chapter
看
5, verse 8.
约翰回到那个主章，约翰福音5章第8节。
Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk."
第8节，耶稣对他说：“起来，拿你的褥子走吧。”
So Jesus told him to get up, pick up his mat, and walk. He had to take action. He had to put effort into it.
所以耶稣让他站起来，拿着褥子走。耶稣让他要动，他自己要努力。
And once he did that, he was immediately healed.
当这个病人这么做的时候，他马上就被治愈了。
You know, in the Bible, there's something like that. Jesus, he frequently requires effort from the people he heals. Not always,